following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
Welcome back to Unsupervised, the spinoff. This week, your friendly neighborhood hosts give a weekly Rona update featuring protesters. We discuss the Ahmaud Arbery shooting in Georgia. Meanwhile, Mother Nature is unleashing the murder hornets on North America. In our Wacky Stat of the week, we talk U.S. Olympic team dominance through the years and our favorite U.S. Olympic athletes. In petty party politics, we give a letter grade to President Trump for his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and its fallout. And in our main topic, as the country begins to reopen, what do we think is going to happen next? Put your weightlifting belt on for this one. It'll get heavy. Now y'all enjoy the show.
I think this thing is on, B.
Yo, this thing is on.
We're recording.
So we recording. I think we might be in the building.
I feel like we're back in the building.
Hey, well, shit. Y'all already know what I'm gonna say. Let's get it there. Gentlemen. Listeners, welcome back. It's your guys, man, from Unsupervised, the spinoff podcast, power only by the Defy Life Podcast Network. And we back, man. We in the building. I wish I had some. Y'all know what? We gonna have to get some applause going on, like a little round of applause, like a little clappers and shit when we come in, man. Hey, man.
Hollywood Paul had one of them at one point.
Yeah, man, we gotta get another one of those, man. We gotta get another one of those. Episode 14, man. We are back. And I must say, man, I'm excited, y'all. Shout out, man, the Defy Life Podcast Network. Go check us out there. Check us out at defylifegear.com. Go to defylife.com as well as defylifepods.com. That is our Defy Life hub for all of our entertainment. The network is strong, man. Go check us out. We got a lot of stuff out there. You can also check us out at patreon.com/godefylife. That's the best way to support the network and to become a patron of Defy Life, where you get to help support and grow and allow us to host events and continue to work in the community and continue to bring you fire and great content, man. So everybody in the network, keep doing your thing. Shout out West Coast Jay. I actually heard you on the flagship this week, so shout out to you, man. What was that like? What was that about? What was that like?
Yeah, apparently Al, out the blue, rediscovered he had a son's birthday going on yesterday. Like the way Jay described it, it was a surprise birthday, even though he old enough to drink. Oh shit, it's my son's birthday today. Yeah, I got a nice little chuckle out of that. Right. And so Jay called me like super last minute, like, hey, we finna record. Can you hop on right quick for an hour? I'm like, yeah. Shoot me this topic, let's see what it is. And so ended up hopping on there. Got to address Pooh directly for talking to us any kind of way. What up, Pooh? So after I wiped the floor with him and some trivia right quick, we got to talk to, actually we ended up getting to talk to a couple of the ladies of a new show getting ready to come on. I think it's called Sip on This with G and Lala.
Okay.
And those ladies they wild, man. I can't wait for their show to come out. They sound like the sister podcast to us.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
G and Lala, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, I got to check them out. They got these nice little sexy accents and nice
word.
Oh, word, brother. Yo, word.
Brother.
I was like, ooh.
They sound fine as fuck.
They work in healthcare, I was like, damn, I make
so they got all the cakes and scrubs.
I was like, I make healthcare software. This could be a thing.
Oh yeah, you in there?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna know all the little terminology and shit.
Right. I use healthcare. Shit, this might be a thing.
Hey, I'm working that shit too. Hey, I go to the doctor.
I go to that motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? Well, niggas will find any way in possible. That's why I love y'all, man.
Anyway in.
Anyway, just put in the dope bow. What's that? You say you work at a doctor's office? I've been to one of them once.
Right.
And you know what I hit
My
it
mama
with?
died at the hospital. What's good? I was born in the hospital.
You know what I hit it with? So what system y'all using up there?
Right. So what, y'all on a 3M or y'all on a 3.59? Which one of y'all using, man? You know what I'm saying?
Boy, if niggas know it,
I can't wait for them to come out. They gonna have y'all rolling for real.
if niggas know it, niggas are using now. But we can't wait to get them on. They're definitely gonna be a guest of our show, especially if they're like the sister compadres to Unsupervised spinoff. Man, that's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. Can't wait. Shout out to them. Shout out to the rest of their network. As always, as we do every week, I wanted to go ahead and shout out some patrons for this week. So this week we are shouting out Toya C and Sarah Oma. Once again, they're the patrons that we're shouting out for this week. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate everything you do. Definitely continue to show love to the network. We do all of this for you guys. We're going to keep bringing y'all that fire too, man. Episode 14, y'all. What y'all do this week? Hey, we in for a heavy episode, gentlemen. So, but before we get to it, West Coast J, man, let them know where else they can get us.
For sure. You already know you can check us out at defylifepods.com, and that's for all of the network's shows. Past that, you can find us on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, pardon me. One day I'm going to learn how to speak. Google Play Podcasts, and pretty much anywhere else you get your podcast needs met.
No doubt. And we got an email address. What's that email? Hey, y'all email us.
Yeah, please do. Email the show. We can be found at unsupervised at godefylife.com. Again, that's unsupervised at godefylife.com.
Oh, I don't even know if I ever said this, but it's the real himself. The real is back. I don't even know. I don't even know if I got to say that. I don't feel like I did. It's 2 for Tuesdays, except it's Wednesday. It's your boy M. Dot, man. I'm here with West Coast J, Hollywood Paul, my two amazing, most famous co-hosts on the planet. And Hollywood Paul, man, how was your week, man?
It was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. You know, I just want to let the people know I've been on Facebook checking out some things. You know, like Unsupervised, the podcast spin-off Facebook page where you can like, comment, and share, and enter in a chance to win a free night stay giveaway at a Marriott location of your choosing after the Rona's gone. But other than that, my week's been pretty all right, man. I've been dealing with some issues on the home front, but other than that, man, I'm blessed to be alive. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be here. But looking forward to doing this show with y'all, man. I miss y'all, man. I can't lie. I really did miss y'all. I've been thinking about this show and how we can improve it, how we can make it better. I'm always thinking about how we can make it better, new topics we can talk about, guests, things like that. So that's it, man. That's all I've been on.
Hey, no doubt, man. Well, hey, and you were an integral part of that, man. So whenever you have ideas, man, just make sure you shoot them to everybody, man, so we can get it done.
For sure.
You know, we are still we got a big surprise. We are planning a big nice live show. We don't know when, but it's definitely going to happen. We wanted to get a few episodes up under our belt, so y'all stay tuned for that because it's coming. It's definitely coming, so I'm excited for that.
Y'all get to check out the way Hollywood Paul be looking like Mike Lowry, and you know what I'm saying, Money look like the lead singer for an R&B group and all the etc.
Oh man,
Money look like a lead singer of an R&B group. Now, if y'all ain't never seen this brother's smooth as lotion. You hear what I'm saying?
Oh man,
the mug's beard is so perfectly manicured and edged up. And then he got this one little streak of salt and pepper right on the chin. So it's like a distinguishing look. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? They make it look real distinguished. He look like he got enough experience to make sure that your evening gonna be spectacular, ladies.
I mean, he looked like he could have been cast in Boys in the Hood as old boy daddy who was kicking all the knowledge. That's all I'm saying.
True that.
He do. He looked like he could be a college professor or just that one dude that be slaying all the freshmen. You know what I'm saying? He that one frat dude, you know what I'm saying? He teach all the frats how to maneuver through college and just be smashing them at the same time. All the newbies. I love it, man. I love
100% look like a college old head.
My girl can't come to your house, nigga.
Oh man. Y'all stop, man. Hey, man. I did go to college, though. Was it? I'm just like, nah. We gonna skip that. We gonna say that for another show, another day. Y'all, it's been a crazy week, man.
Jesus.
I don't even know. God, where do we start? I guess we're gonna get right into it, man. I guess what's going on in the world of COVID? We just want to do a quick update on that. We don't have a ton on that, but the president did announce that, most states were going to reopen, and so I think we have 40 states that are on the verge of reopening, and we're seeing more and more. So there's a couple things I wanted to touch on. The Michigan protesters, and isn't Michigan the place where the security guard at Family Dollar got shot and killed for telling somebody to put on a mask?
Wow.
Wasn't that in Michigan?
Is wild right now.
Yeah, so I saw another story about someone else asking someone to social distance, and the woman's spazzed on them and all of this, and what's going on out there? Have people just lost their minds, and they're just you go. So the security guard basically was like, "Hey, y'all can't come in. If y'all come in, y'all got to social distance and put your mask on and all of that." And so apparently they left. The three of them, they left, and I guess they came back maybe 15, 20 minutes later. And I guess the two of them came back, and they shot and killed the guy. And so now he's gone for telling someone they need to put on a mask. And this Corona stuff got us going crazy, man. West Coast Jay, man, what you think? What's going on?
Man, I told y'all from the beginning, I thought this was going to happen about 8 weeks. I thought it was going to be 8 days. It turned into more like 8 weeks before people started really wilding out. Before they started really doing the most. I'm reading stories about park rangers getting thrown in lakes for asking people to social distance.
What? I saw that. I saw the video. That was crazy.
I thought that was a hoax video. I thought it was you know what I'm saying? Set up.
No. It was a real thing.
Was okay. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that was a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
People are finally, like I said, I predicted it early. I thought it was going to be way earlier before the filthy underbelly of human nature started showing itself. Mm-hmm. And so now it's Michigan is the hotbed for it right now.
Right, they stormed there. Well, I don't want to say stormed because that sounds.
They ran up on the governor, bro.
They stormed the Bastille.
They protested.
Ran up on the governor.
They protested on the governor's mansion.
They ran up on the governor, man. They were standing in there, but man, first things first. If you guys have ever seen I'm talking to the listeners right now. If you've seen the videos, they filled the lobby and the stairs, and they infested this place. They're in camouflage. They're wearing American flags. They're wearing swastikas. They're carrying nooses. They're armed. The only thing between the police or the governor and these people.
Wait. When he say they armed, I'm sorry, West Coast. I'm gonna cut you. When he say they armed, I'm talking about they got big ass guns. They got big ass for the shoulder shit.
Right. They got guns. They got straps on them.
Right, they got guns on top of the guns. Like they were rocking guns like Kiss when he said, "I rock guns like shirts." A Glock under the pump. Like they had guns on top of guns on top of guns, and they just marching through the governor mansion. Like, of course they couldn't. But yeah, go ahead.
So they're standing there. They're berating the cops that are standing in between, keeping them from actually being able to run up on the governor for real. Berating the cops, calling them traitors, screaming in their faces. And the only thing I could think of was it was a room full of white people. And my first thought was, dude, I can't even imagine being black and thinking it's okay to run up on the governor armed with hella niggas and shit.
Yeah,
I mean, like they're in there deep, easily, the standing room only deep. Nobody getting tased, nobody in handcuffs, nobody on their knees. Everybody could breathe.
So let's examine that. Yeah, let's examine that for a second though. Michigan's an open carry state, meaning that they can
get that.
They can openly carry their firearms, like as long as they're visible. North Carolina as well, coincidentally, is an open carry state. But we have some restrictions here. But however, I thought the same thing. I thought there's no way that 350 niggas strapped to the T is going to be able to protest up to the governor's man, even though it's well within their rights. They also would not have been breaking any laws. I was just very realistically fearful that it had that been 400 black folks, that scene may have played out very, 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 very differently.
I think we would have witnessed a mass bloodbath right there. I believe that 350 black people tried that shit. They would have been stopped before they even made it to the front door. They would have been tear gassed. Some people would have been shot. There would have been rubber bullets being fired at us, if not live ammunition. I mean, I honestly just do not believe that that's how things would have played. It would have been chaos in the streets, man. 350 black people armed with this kind of firepower. I mean, they look like a militia.
They look like their own militia with their own. And remember, white folks have been out there buying all the ammo, right? So they remember when I was saying that when this shit first happened, like they went and bought all the ammunition, all the motherfucking hollow points, all the sidewinders, all the cop killers, they went and bought all that shit.
So they ready.
You can't find no full metal jackets and none of that shit. Well, I'm sure that you can now if you go look, but I don't know, man. Like, I just think now. Granted, they were within their rights. They didn't go past the part of the mansion, of course, because the cops were there, and they were barricading them. But I mean, who knows if they weren't there? Would they may have broken the law at that point, because there's only so far that you can go into the governor's mansion with a firearm and with signs and all that type of shit.
You're not even supposed to walk in the front door.
Right.
Well, yeah,
that's the part
not on government property. Not on any government property. You're not supposed in Fayetteville, where I'm from, I know if you like for instance, me and my pops, we'll go to places. He has to leave his joint in the car because it is clearly posted that you will be shot. And military police, they're not going to have the same code of conduct or I guess way that they handle things. What color you are, they don't care. Okay, you're in violation. They're gonna either shoot you or they're gonna kick your ass really bad because ask you're blind because that sign's posted right there.
Well, then the military, they have a different code of.
I mean, and even that on the government's personal guard is a National Guard. That's military. You're not supposed to be able to go in there. No, in the mansion. That's no, not unless you're assigned personnel.
Yeah, this was local police and the National Guard was there.
No,
and the National
just straight up state police.
This was state.
I mean,
police.
That's another part of his personal guard as well. I mean, anything that's there for him for real. I mean, that's to his disposal for protection. But they're still not bringing no any kind of firearms like that, brandishing those weapons, they were supposed to be arrested. Yeah, protest not. You know,
I'm 95% sure they weren't breaking any laws. There's something weird about Michigan state laws that lets them do that.
okay.
I'm not, because literally nobody got arrested. And I can almost guarantee you that if they weren't supposed to have done it, they wouldn't have done it, or they at least would have been arrested. But at least that's what I think. But I'm pretty. Michigan's a very, very, very like. It's kind of like Texas. I would be surprised if like Texas had a law that wouldn't let because I can see something like that happening at the governor's mansion in Texas and Oklahoma and like some
Texas
of those. Like,
is not even an open carry completely state. Like Texas is, you can open carry with a permit. Interestingly enough, because I would have thought Texas was legit just open carry. It's not.
That is weird. Why do you have to open? Why do you need a permit to open carry? That's weird. Well, oh well. So I have a concealed. Well, actually, mine's expired. It actually just expired, but I still, I open and I conceal carry, because I can do both in my state, and so it just kind of depends on what kind of mood I'm in, where I'm at, who I'm around, type of deal. But there's also places that my ability to open carry doesn't cover me, where my concealed carry does. Like my open carry, I can't be in schools. I can't be anywhere where it's posted no firearms. I can't be in places where they're selling alcohol, things like that. But if I'm concealed carry, then I can pretty much break most of those rules, because you have a different set of rules depending on what kind of permit you have.
Right. Like in Michigan, it says it is illegal for a person to carry a firearm in public as long as the person is carrying the firearm with lawful intent and the firearm is not concealed. You will not find a law that states it is illegal to open carry a firearm in Michigan. So it's all about the intent of what you're having that firearm with. Yeah, so
they can just have a gun. I'm not going to shoot anybody. I just got this big ass rocket launcher, but I'm not going to use it.
Right.
So I just and that's legal there.
I
don't. Yeah. So, boy, it's hot and heavy out there. So everybody just be on your P's and Q's. It's getting hot and heavy out there. And I got news for you. These states there are 6 states on a downward trend. We have 50 of them motherfuckers. There are 6 states on a downward trend. Everybody else, that shit still going up. A lot of the doctors.
As far as let's specify for the listeners. You mean as far as like the Rona spreading?
The people that are being diagnosed with coronavirus, yes.
Interesting.
And the doctors are saying they're scared we're reopening the country too soon. And so that second wave that they think is going to hit in the fall.
Right.
They think we're not even going to get past the first wave, because they think that we're going to open up a whole lot of clusters with this, because there's still so many people out there that haven't been tested. So just be on your P's and Q's. West Coast, you got anything you want to say with that? You want to button that up?
Straight up, just be on your P's and Q's is the right answer. This wave is not the people that are opening. All of the states that have already started prematurely opening have increased in their numbers like an immediate spike. So just because your state opens up doesn't necessarily mean that you should be out there.
Right.
Yeah, the governor of Texas is actually caught on tape saying that like he knows that when they open up they're going to spike.
Wow.
But the purpose of all this social distancing wasn't ever to get to 0 cases anyway.
No, it was just to try to thin it out as much as possible.
Yeah, so that's what he said, and he's coming. So it's about to get real. So West Coast, I think you're right. That little, and I've been saying there's right under the current. There's a lot of ugly going on, like right under the. They can say this shit, but right underneath the surface, it's a lot of ugly shit going on out there. So everybody be on your P's and Q's. I think it's only about to get crazier. There's a food shortage. There's a meat shortage. Y'all been to the grocery store lately?
Yeah, man.
There's a meat shortage. It's not all the way here yet, but it's coming because the meat packing plants, everybody got the fucking coronavirus.
Right.
The coldest part about that is I saw something that said that Wendy's is almost at any given point they be running out of burgers now.
Yes, I was going to say an interesting thing is that a lot of the fast food joints are straight up like they're not even compensating people. From the people I've heard from, they're not even saying, "Oh, we're sorry, we're out of this for right now, coronavirus. We'll give you this voucher or this gift card or whatever." They're just like, "Yeah, we're out. We're out of buns. I'm sorry, we're out. We're out of straws. We're out of cups. You know what I'm saying? We can't get a drink with your meal." So shit is crazy, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like I've been saying, they thought that shit was crazy with the toilet tissue and the wipes and the hand sanitizer and all of that shit. You ain't seen shit until you seen these motherfucking people go through a food shortage
or a meat shortage. Well, let's just say meat. Like you don't need meat to survive. Let's just clear it up for the listeners. Get creative with your vegan meals and your vegetarian meals if need be. There are a lot of substitutes out there that'll stop you from getting headaches or whatever from the withdrawals from certain meats that you eat. But you can survive. Do not freak out. Let the dumb people freak out. Don't you freak out. But you can survive.
Right. And I read something that said the state of Idaho had to throw away like mountains of potatoes because, of course, the restaurants put in their Q1, Q2 orders for their potatoes, and they're all closed. So they was like, what the fuck did we do it? So they have actually been donating potatoes and things like that to like these food drives and stuff. So just be on the lookout, man. This is crazy. This stuff is crazy, and we don't know which way it's gonna turn, but it's a lot of people out there with big hearts, but it's a lot of crazy motherfuckers out there too.
A lot of people will take advantage of you in a downtime in this situation. Please be aware. Keep your hustle cap on, you know what I'm saying? Get your discernment on. There's a lot of people scamming out here trying to take advantage of people, you know what I'm saying? A lot of GoFundMes that are being created that are fake and geared toward ill will. So just be mindful is all I got to say. Don't pick up no wooden nickels.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a lot of crazy motherfuckers out there.
That too.
And speaking of crazy motherfuckers out there, y'all. So listeners, go to the Unsupervised podcast Facebook page, and there is a video on the page. And I guess a couple of months back, like back in late February, there was a jogger in Georgia. I don't want to butcher the guy's name, but it looks like it's Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah.
Arbery.
That's what I thought. The first Arbery.
Yeah. Looks like Arbery or Arbery. Yo, this brother was, and he's a kid. I think he was 18 or 19 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Jogging through his neighborhood or an adjacent neighborhood, or something like that, broad daylight, and he's gunned down. He ends up dead. And so originally, the local police department came out and said, "Hey, we're not, we found no evidence of wrongdoing." So the story was the father and son tag team, Georgia citizens, West Coast. If you want to grab their names, feel free. But their story is, hey, there's been break-ins in the neighborhood that we've reported, and we saw this guy running from what we thought was a break-in, and we just was trying to stop to him. We were just trying to stop and talk to him.
With nothing in his hands, though. No backpack, nothing in, no pockets, literally nothing in his hands indicating he just broke into someone's house and burglarized them. No telltale signs, but yes, please continue. But that's what they said. That is what they said.
That's what they said. And so the local police, hey, that shit sounds good to us. No wrongdoing here. The citizens can do a citizen's arrest, and they were trying to do a citizen's arrest on this young guy.
Let's put the 2 under 10 real quick. Retired District Attorney Investigator Greg McMichael.
That was the daddy.
He's suspected of burglary. He alerted his adult son. Both men grabbed their guns.
Oh, so old buddy was law enforcement.
He was.
Retired District Attorney Investigator Greg McMichael and his son Travis McMichael.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
They had ties to the local police, so that's why a lot of people were speculating that it was getting brushed under the rug because he was reaching out to his buddies to kind of cover up for him. And,
no, wait, hold on, because we not there yet.
Okay.
So local police, hey, we're good with that. Because they didn't at this point, nobody's sweeping anything under the rug. Because local police is like, yeah, we're good with that story.
Right.
Burglar running through, he ended up dead. Hey, whatever.
Right.
Case closed.
Right.
But God bless the dead, and God bless the black folks and the townsfolks in these communities, because they're like, no, like this ain't right. I don't know where they got this footage from, but somebody shot footage.
Right, right.
So it's a security camera in the neighborhood.
Well, it was that
security
in the car.
video, like somebody's
I saw this from a car.
Yeah,
that's
video
what it
I
looked
saw
like
was
for
from
me too.
car.
That angle, the video that's posted on the Facebook page, it looks like it's coming from behind them, like a dash cam almost. You know what I mean?
Yes, it does.
Like or a cell phone that somebody's holding while driving.
Yes, it does. It looks like, because there's a part in the video where it kind of pans off to the right, but the action's on the left. And when it pans off to the right is actually when you hear the very first shot.
Right.
But so y'all got to go check the video out. So because then I read that the video came out. So apparently they had already tried to like corner this kid. And like they was like, hey, stop, we want to talk to you now. I guess one of them got a big ass 357, the other one got a big ass shotgun. You run up on somebody talking about, hey, I want to talk to you. Like, well, why you got them big ass guns out? I mean, would you want to talk to me? Like, right. So naturally the kid, he's still running. Like, so at this point, and this is speculation because I didn't see this, but at this point, I think he's running for his life.
Right.
So they finally. So the truck is in front. So then they finally corner him, in my opinion. You got to watch the video, but it looks like there's a car behind that's definitely speeding to catch them, and then the truck is kind of in front, and it's kind of parked in front of the kid. So he swerves to kind of run around it, and then the driver jumps out, and all you hear is like, "Hey, hey, hey!" The camera pans right, and you hear the first shot.
Yeah.
The camera pans back left, and then you see. At this point, now they're tussling for the shotgun of the driver of the truck.
So then you
can also see the cloud from where that shot was fired.
Correct.
Right.
So at this point, I think he may have already been hit, but once again, that's speculation. I don't know that, but I do know there was already one shot fired.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's a tussle. There's a tussle for the gun. You can see that but the guy kind of overpowers him, and then there's another shot, and then there's another shot, and the young Mr. Arbery kind of like staggers away and falls to the ground. They don't. Now at this point, the guy that did the shooting, he's on his fucking way back to the truck.
Right.
If you check the video out, he's on his way back to the truck, and then the son or whoever, I don't know which guy was who. That was on the truck and that was in the tussle.
It looks like the dad was the one who was tussling with him. He looked older than the guy that was in the back of the truck.
Yeah, he did look significantly older. So it looked like the dad, but I don't know that to be a fact.
Right.
But who looked like the dad? I mean, the kid had barely hit the ground, and he was on his way back to the fucking truck.
No concern.
No, and so the kid. I guess the kid jumps off the back of the truck. He does go to the guy, rolls him over, because I guess their MO was he had a weapon or he had something. They found nothing.
Yeah, the kid with Michael is actually the one that got out with the shotgun.
Okay, so it was the son that shot.
The son got out with the shotgun.
Well, he looked older. Right?
He did
look old.
He did.
But at the same time, this is also the son of somebody that was a district attorney for 30 years.
So the son may be older.
The son may be easily 30 to 50.
Right, absolutely. You're right, absolutely. So, Ahmaud Arbery's dead, y'all. And so y'all can go check out the video and weigh in on our page and let us know your thoughts. But
so the video is that what caused the the charges to be filed?
No charges have been filed yet, but the video surfaced out of wherever it surfaced from. The video surfaced, and now it's an uproar. Like now, it's like, I mean, even Vice President Joe Biden weighed in today and was like, "Hey, like we got to get justice for this guy and his family." Like, so I'm told that the GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, or whatever, is looking into this to see if they sent it to a grand jury to see if the grand jury is going to come back with charges. But we've all seen shit like this. So black folks are happy. Grand jury, yeah, but we've all seen cases go to the grand jury where we got shit on video and the grand jury come back with no charges.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna turn it over. So now I'm gonna turn it over to my co-host.
Off top, the first thing that happened was the Brunswick. This was in the Brunswick Judicial Circuit, was where Greg McMichael served for more than 30 years as an investigator for the DA's office. So immediately, the DA, Brunswick DA, cited a conflict of interest and turned the case over to the Ware County District Attorney. And so the first thing they did was they sent it to the GBI crime lab in Savannah so that they could go for autopsy. And immediately, what they were really looking for was the trajectory of the fatal gunshot. And then they said they were also looking for a toxicology test, which is pretty standard, to be quite frank. Mm-hmm. And then the home security video in the neighborhood is also part of the evidence. So probably the video that we see, there's probably another one that's probably from like a Ring doorbell cam or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something from an angle that'll give you a different look. Because the one that's on the that we've posted, the one that's on the website, it looks like whoever it was in pursuit and then comes to a stop.
Right. It does look like that.
So, like there's, but it didn't really start, like this was February 23rd, and the report that I'm reading wasn't until April 2nd. So,
wow.
Like it looks like they're going to be at this for some time before anything happens. That's
crazy. Hollywood Paul, what you think, man? Weigh in on this. Brother jogging, brother gone.
I'm gonna just say this. God bless my father, because that would have been me, and I'd be dead right now, and that video would be circulating around. I got some crazy cousins, man, that are real loyal to my dad, and whoever that father and dad, if that was Paul Douglas Brumfield III, your days would be numbered. My father would come hunt you down and kill you. I mean, that's just what he wouldn't wait for the cops or grand juries or anything like that. He would take him to his own hands. And I'm not promoting violence. I'm not promoting death and all that stuff. But justice has to be served for that kid. Was he breaking in houses? I don't know. Does he deserve to be shot down on the streets like a dog, like a rabid dog? No, absolutely not. And that boy's father, I suggest you and your friends and your family, you go get some revenge. Take it into your own hands. That's what I suggest. You could wait. I mean, and I said this to my mom, and she said, "Paul, don't be like that. God don't like ugly." And without thinking, I responded, "Mom, God must have thought slavery was a beauty queen because he let that bitch ride for 400 years.
Long time."
She got quiet.
Long time.
I said, we could wait and pray and do all that other stuff. Sometimes God gave us the strength to help ourselves. He gave us free will to help ourselves. He gave us the power and knowledge to help ourselves.
Black Christians don't like to talk about that.
No, they don't.
They don't like to talk about that.
They want to pray it and pray and pray and wait on God.
No, they don't like to talk about that. Oh, no.
A lot of people been waiting on God for 400 years, man. But did he speak to you and tell you, hey, man, you got two hands, a brain, you can go take care of yourself. You got feet, you got legs. You know what I'm saying? So, but my point is that whole situation to me is just horribly, horribly messed up. I believe you have some citizens who are taking things to the extremes. Did you want to talk to him because he's breaking the houses? That could be the case. Why do you need the heavy artillery? Why couldn't you follow the kid Why can't you just follow the kid from a safe distance, call the authorities, and say, "Hey, I believe we have the suspect here"?
They actually did make a 911 call. West Coast, you got that 911 call? They actually did make a 911 call.
Now.
Okay, they made the call. Why confront them?
Yeah, I'm looking for the 911 call. Give me a minute.
You're not trained as a cop. You know, I mean, what if that kid would have ripped the shotgun from your hands and killed you? Now you'll be calling for his head on the stick. You out there doing stuff that you weren't trained to do this. This is not your everyday job. You're fat, overweight, probably drunk off beer, I'm assuming, and you're sitting at home and your dad says, "Hey, I caught somebody breaking in the house, man, get the guns." You jump up and with the dad without thinking and run out with some guns to go hunt somebody's fucking kid down.
But who does that?
Well, obviously the apple didn't fall far from the tree, and then the daddy obviously has a certain notion in his life that shit's okay, and we saw what kind of work he did. So who else has that same fucking notion?
Dude, I love y'all. But if one of y'all call me, hold on, let's go. Let me finish the thought. If one of y'all call me and be like, "Yo, money, yo, what's good? Yo, somebody out here breaking the houses. I see him running down the street. What you want me to do?
Get your shit. Let's go. Right.
Get my shit. Unless, nigga, did they break in your shit? Nah.
Right.
Oh,
did you tussle with this nigga? You chasing him?
Yeah, like, are you chasing him? Like, what? Why I think that's a good idea? Call the police. That's what they're for.
Right. Okay. See where he going? Call the cops. Don't let him see you. Don't spook him. I mean, stay at a safe distance if you got to. I mean, everything okay? Has he hurt anybody? You get what I'm saying? Like, if you would have called me with that, I'd be like, I mean, where he at? Like down the street or something? I mean, what's going on? He got a gun on you or something like that?
Yeah, standing on top of your chest. Why are you on the phone with me and not the cops? Like, what?
That's my next question. That's all. You took it right. Like, so why you call me, bro? You want me to go to jail or something?
I mean, very confused.
What is I'm supposed to be doing? Call the cops, nigga. That's what 911 is for. But
we got the 911 call.
I don't have the actual audio, but I do have one line. 50 seconds into the 911 call, they got two calls about Ahmaud. And the first one, the 50 seconds into the first call, the dispatcher says, "I just need to know what he was doing wrong."
And I think that's when they said, "We think he's been breaking into houses." No, actually, they said he's running. And didn't they reply he's running at that point?
Here we go. All right, I found the transcripts. There's a guy in the house right now. It's under construction. Gave her an address. Then you said someone's breaking into it right now, the dispatcher asked. No, it's all open. It's under construction. The man interrupted to say that Arbery was leaving, and there he goes right now. Okay, what's he doing? He's running down the street. The next sentence is garbled. That's fine. I'll get police out there. I just need to know what he was doing wrong. Was he just on the premises and not supposed to be? The next sentence is garbled, and he's been caught on camera a bunch at night. It's kind of an ongoing thing. The man building the house got heart issues, and I think he's not going to finish it. Okay, that's fine. And you said he was a male in a black T-shirt, white T-shirt, black guy, white T-shirt. He's done running to the neighborhood again. 6 minutes later, another 911 call. I'm out here at Satilla Shores. There's a black male running down the street. Where at Satilla Shores? I don't know what street we're on. Stop, he can be heard shouting. Watch that. Stop. Damn it, stop. The call went on for 7 minutes. The dispatcher trying for several times to reach the caller, and that call eventually hangs up. Those are the 911 calls.
And at the tail end of that, young Ahmaud's dead.
Yeah.
Now, what that sound like to y'all?
I could speculate. It sounds like you had some white guys seeing this black guy over somewhere. He could have been jogging through or walk. I don't know, doing anything. I'm thinking trespassing.
Trespassing. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's what it sounds like to me. And when someone saw him, he bolted out of there like any other trespasser would do. Then he sees some guys who aren't cops trying to stop him, which is, smart on his point, because why have a confrontation with these idiots? If they're not the cops, get the hell away from there. You don't have to talk to them. If he didn't do anything wrong besides just walk on a property where you weren't supposed to be, they didn't see him. They didn't say he was doing something there. They just said he was over there and ran into the neighborhood. He could have just been jogging.
I think he was just jogging because he had on fucking jogging gear.
He did. He didn't have. I didn't see anything that looked like, I could say, okay, he was dressed to go do some dirt. If he was smart, I guess if he was being smart about it, I guess he dressed like a jogger to throw people off if he was really up to something bad. He didn't have anything. The house was being built. What could he have really burglarized? What could he take from a framed house?
Tools and copper or something?
Right.
Your story sounds like bullshit, gentlemen.
Ultimately, it sounds like they gunned down this team who wouldn't comply to their will.
Well, the other thing about it is, in particular, apparently, they legit couldn't catch him. He was an athlete. They talked to one of the people who saw him in high school when he was a linebacker. And they said they remember when he intercepted a pass to the 20-yard line, and he went 80 yards to the end zone. They couldn't catch him, couldn't touch him. I've tried jogging with him a few times. He leaves me gasping after a quarter mile like he's a runner.
So the boy is an athlete.
He was an athlete.
Yeah, they couldn't catch him in the car. It's like 3 times. That's what I said. The attempts to catch him in the car. Yeah, they tried to cut him off. He was run. So by the time they actually approached him, he's running for his fucking that's why I said at this point, by the time we see him on the video, he's running for his life.
Right. And they were hunting him down, man. They hunted him.
They were I think it was
blocked off the street.
Yeah. I think they decided to kill the man as soon as they realized that he was in the neighborhood, he was in the area, or what. I think they were just looking for an opportunity to get them one, and they found one, and they know their the dad's ex-law enforcement, great in the community, probably has a whole bunch of good old boys around him with the good old boy system, and he thinks he's untouchable. And they decided to execute them, a black person, and it just so happened to be, because I feel like if it were you, me, West Coast, if it were you, me, or Hollywood running down the street, we'd be just as fucking dead. I don't think it had anything to do with this young man. I just think they just wanted to kill somebody.
What's interesting is that it's a lot of people are speculating that the person filming from the car are with the dad and the brother, based on no audio, no emotion after seeing the guy get shot. I don't know who that was, but it's interesting to see, how this footage even surfaced.
I don't know how it surfaced.
Who put it out there? That's what's interesting to me. Was it someone who was with them that felt bad afterwards? Are there break-ins still happening in that same neighborhood now that this guy is dead? Was a person with him like, oh, we got the wrong guy?
The breakup, the breakup story was hogwash.
It was bullshit. I know it.
It was bullshit.
They know it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
first of all, you can't break into a house that's under construction.
How?
It's open.
You just walk right through it, right?
Yeah.
How are you breaking in then?
I don't think the guy's gonna finish it. I don't think the guy's gonna shut the fuck up. Take this fucking charge. Take this case. I hope the Georgia Bureau of Investigation comes at their ass, and the state of Georgia comes at their ass with everything they fucking got.
Agreed.
But it's got Black Twitter jumping. It's got Facebook the social media is going crazy over this right now. Very, very similar to Trayvon Martin. This has such shades of the Trayvon Martin case. When y'all see it, it's gonna definitely bring back those memories, y'all. But if you don't see it on our page, go check it out somewhere. I'm sure you know somebody that's already talking about it. Y'all want to wrap that up?
Yeah, man, it's heavy, bro. I feel for him. My condolences to his family, to his friends. You know what I'm saying? His teachers, everybody that knew him. He was a good kid. God rest his soul. He was a bad kid. I still don't think he should have been gunned down for trespassing, if that was what he was doing. It's just, hearts and prayers out. Good vibes, all that stuff, man.
Absolutely. I used to say on the Defy Life show all the time, I used to say on the Defy Life show all the time, man. These stand your ground citizen patrol laws are just another excuse for white people to kill black people, man.
Yeah.
And I phrase it like that because black folks don't get to use them laws. I don't get to shoot somebody and then be like, I was standing my fucking ground.
No, not unless you are standing in your house with a security camera facing you and the door and another security camera that has a different angle so they can see that you have clearly declared that you do have a firearm and you have intention to shoot. You have witnessed them committing a crime and you are making a citizen's arrest. Here are 2 forms of ID. I'm holding these up with my other hand because I got my gun in this hand. On top of that, I got enough time to say all that before I can blam. Feel me? Like it's not the same.
You're not going to be on the honor system. Just put it that way.
No, they're gonna come for you. They're not the initial I tell you what, the official initial investigation ain't gonna come back with we found no wrongdoing. I fucking promise you that. But we gonna move on from this one because we got another one. Not a murder, but did y'all get the chance to check out the video that I sent you guys, the Facebook video of the officer? I guess he's trying to detain somebody against the fence, and like while I guess he was right. I guess while he was like getting ready to handcuff the guy, they were having a conversation. I don't know what the guy said, but apparently the officer did not like what the guy said very much. And he just commenced to beating the shit out of the dude. The dude didn't tell he wasn't handcuffed yet. He never resisted. He never fought back. He actually put his hands on the fence and bent and like put his head between his hands in like a defensive mechanism. It's crazy.
The part that got me more than anything else about that video, which again, y'all be able to see that video as well on Unsupervised Facebook page. But the part that got me was the partner. The partner just stood there. The whole just sort of was 3 feet away, just sort of like circling like I watch enough UFC to
almost like a referee.
That's exactly what she was moving like. She was moving like the ref.
Well,
like if dude would have went out, she would have stopped the fight.
Well, let me ask you 2 questions because I saw the same thing. I watched the videos a few times and I noticed that, and I initially thought that, but I did see she pulled out her walkie and called for, I guess, the backup that came, and the backup that came are the people that like they immediately checked. They didn't come and jump on the dude and arrest him. They came and like they started talking to the guy that was getting beat up. Like if you notice, like they didn't normally in that situation. The other officers come and they help fuck you up, right?
They dogpile, yeah.
They didn't do that. So then I thought, well, maybe it's because she was a woman and he was a guy, and she maybe felt like she wasn't big enough to try to like calm him down or contain him or whatever the case may be. But she did reach for her walkie and say some shit into the walkie and then put her walkie away. Did y'all notice that?
I did.
She did. But like I said, the part that got me was she was circling. Like she was moving around the ring like Herb Dean, like Big John McCarthy.
It looked like she didn't know what to do. Like,
right, but don't
like she was like freezing in the moment. Like, what do I do? Like, it's like I don't know what to do. Let me just call for help.
Right, and that's why I thought like, because at first I thought she ain't doing shit. Literally, like, if you watch the video, she doesn't do a damn thing.
I mean, I don't think she should be a cop. I don't think neither one of them should be a police officer, because if you see that and you can't say something to stop your partner or do something to stop your partner from going overboard, or your fellow police officer, you shouldn't be a cop.
No.
And if you were reacting like that, beating somebody's ass like that, I mean, if he'd have hit back, you know they would have threw the book at this motherfucker for defending himself.
Threw the book. They would have shot that motherfucker dead cold in the street.
In the street.
Yeah,
so
he wouldn't have got no case.
For one, neither one of them should be a cop. The cop who beat him should get his ass beat, like ordered to be tied to a chair, old school. Get a phone book, beat his ass. You ain't got to open fist him. Get a phone book.
So
get a little encyclopedia.
So the brother, y'all go check the video out. So the brother is a little bit bigger than the cop, right? So, you can hear he getting beat up, and he literally asking the cop, "Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?" And the cop is like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, it's crazy. And then then the other cops get there, and they go. And I guess they started checking on him and seeing what the fuck was wrong with the other cop. But I really think whatever code or whatever the woman officer used, like, let whoever was responding know that old boy was wilding. Because they did not come and dogpile my man, and my man was bigger than both of them. So even in this crazy coronavirus crazy world, man, people still finding ways to fuck with black folks, just doing whatever it is they're doing out there. So
one thing I can suggest is I firmly believe that with local, state, and police, they don't need to operate under individual guidelines. They all need to fall under the same guideline with checks and balances, so they all can be accountable to the same expectations. I don't believe individual states need to have the power. At this point, it's failed us, I believe. It's too many cases that popped up in many different states across the country. And then the federal government's always like, well, that's a state and local level. They always have their own rules that they can abide by. You got the good old boy system that could be playing into it. We all know the numbers that the FBI released about how many members of the Ku Klux Klan have infiltrated law enforcement.
Local law enforcement, yeah.
At federal level now, it's thousands, bro. It's thousands.
Yeah,
it's thousands. It's well over 10,000 active members in the Ku Klux Klan over the last 60 years that have infiltrated high levels of government and law enforcement. So I just think that there's got to be a revamping of our judicial system, our legal system, how things are operated on the state and local levels. I just think it's time for a change, man. I'm not one for civil unrest because that shit is gonna leave a bunch of people hurt, homeless, killed. Because a lot of people that would jump out there aren't trained to combat shit like that. I don't want no riots and shit like that. But right. I mean, something's got to change, man, because, bad things can pop up over stuff like this that keep on happening. I mean, the coronavirus was a good pacifier for a lot of civil unrest that was boiling over. But it seems like you just simmered the pot down a little bit, and it's about to boil back up.
Right. I agree. And I'll say one thing. When black folks talk about stuff like this, when they complain about stuff like this, when they talk about that blue shield and that blue wall, that is exactly what we mean. We mean, yeah, we realize that all cops aren't bad. I know every cop on the force ain't bad. Our issue is the good cops still will stand there and watch the one bad motherfucker do whatever he wants to do.
So that means are you really a good cop? Because if I see, I think I'm a good dude. If I see, you beating on your woman, people told me, "Oh, don't get involved. That's how they'll shoot you." Well, then let's see how good a shooter is. Because I'm not just gonna stand there and let you do that shit. Because I'm a good guy. Right. I saw a parent of talking shit and snatching up their child, and I got up. I'm about 6'4". You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty big at this point in my life. I'm about 230. I walked up on him and towered over him and said, "How do you like if I snatch your ass up like that?" He looked at me and said, "This is my child." I was like, "I don't give a fuck who it is. Why you got? He's a little kid. Like you think snatching him up is gonna hit your point home harder? He depends on you to feed him and to keep him alive. He's gonna need you. There's different ways to handle that. I'm a kid that got ass whoopings, but I won't get jacked up and abused just because I didn't do exactly what my parents said when I was supposed to when they said it. So and then when I told him you want me to jack your ass up like that, you can tell he got a little scared. And I was like, no, I'm not going to. See, I'm using my words to you, and you got the point now? Try that with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm that kind of guy. So that, in my mind, that makes me a good guy. I'm not just going to stand by and watch some shit happening that I know is fucking wrong. if I was a cop, I know I wouldn't last. I know I wouldn't. They would blackball me. They would try to set me up because I'm not going to play that game to protect you from being an asshole to people out here or mistreating people out here just because you think you can.
No doubt.
So that to me, I get what you're saying. Not all cops are bad. They're not. But if you're standing by watching some bad shit, come on, man. What stand are you going to make?
Equally complicit.
Well, that's my whole point. That's my whole point. That's my whole pushback against the folks that say, "Oh no, these guys aren't all bad guys. These people aren't all bad people." Well, usually, from what I can see, it's one motherfucker that set the shit off, and usually it's motherfuckers standing around there watching.
Or helping.
So if you the motherfucker standing around there watching and or helping, you can't convince me that you too good either.
No.
So that's what black folks talk about when we talk about the badge and the blue wall and the blue wall of silence and the code and all that shit. Like, yeah, we know all cops aren't bad. We just wish more of you motherfuckers would act like it.
Pretty much.
For real.
West Coast J, man. We gotta pay some bills, man. That was heavy. Y'all go check out the Unsupervised Spinoff Podcast Facebook page. We're gonna have both videos out there. Definitely chime in, let us know what you think. And we're gonna step away and go to commercial. When we come back, we got some big shit to talk about. We'll be right back, y'all.
Welcome to the Anything, Everything, and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim. Join us as we discuss the latest in everything from entertainment and current events to the craziness that is our real life.
Let's laugh, let's live, let's talk about it. New episode every Tuesday on the Defy Life Podcast Network. And remember, if you're not defying life, then what are you doing? Lynn and Kim.
And we are back from commercial. That is, give a listen again to Anything, Everything, and Nothing. With recently it's been Kim and Anybody. So this week I think it was Kim and Kenny again.
No doubt.
But yeah, you can find them all at defylifepods.com.
Yeah, man. Don't forget to check out the other shows on the network. Support the network. All the shows are dope, man. Hey, don't forget to go out there and grab some of our gear as well. Unsupervised Spinoff, we have t-shirts and hoodies, and please go check out defylifegear.com with all of the links to all of our gear as well as the other podcast shows gear. You don't see anything there that you like, just check out the gear page itself and pick up some Defy Life gear, man. Everything's hot out there. You can customize stuff. Really get what you want. So we love bringing y'all fire gear, fire alternatives on things that you can rock, man. So don't forget to check out the brand, Defy Life, baby. Let's see. Where are we? We're back at episode 14. Did y'all get a chance to see yo? I mean, we got Killer Citizens, we got Killer Corona. And apparently now we got killer bees, killer hornets.
Yep.
Whew. I mean, the Japanese hornet, I thought it's been around the U.S. for a while, though. You know,
it has.
It's not nothing new. I guess it's been an influx of them, I guess, that people have been finding.
Well, and so I'm glad you said that because I wanted to debunk some of that this is like a brand new phenomenon. But since you seem to know, like, so what do y'all think? Y'all seen this big ass hornet that's the size of a fucking golf ball? Or
Yeah, I killed one on my back deck like Sunday. Like I have like a wooden texture. I have like a wooden cutting board that I have on my grill. I was out smoking with my girl, just hanging out, and then I heard something like buzzing, like extremely loud, almost like a hummingbird. And I looked up, and there he was, like, you know, like, I guess doing whatever bees do around, or hornets do around wood. I guess he's trying to find a nest. So I just popped him one time, and I mean, it felt like I literally hit like an acorn when I popped him. And then he wasn't dead. So I sprayed the hell out of him with some ant spray until he finally stopped moving, and I didn't want to go near it. And I'm like, oh, it's one of those big-ass Japanese hornets. And my girl was like, yeah, they're all over Facebook. I was like, yeah, I've been seeing these things up here in Winston for a long time. I've seen some in Fayetteville, back in like '06, so
Why you ain't take a picture of it and send it to me so I can see it? I'm a big geek like that.
Oh, and next time I get one, man, I'll let you know. But but yeah, I mean, it's just a hornet, man. Stay away from it. Don't be freaking out, swatting around it. Definitely don't let it get close to sting you. Leave it alone. They will attack like a hornet will if you swing at it. I don't know.
Yeah. So apparently they deal with these things in Asia all the time, but they have been in North America for quite some time. They kind of some type of way they got in British Columbia, and they've been migrating their way into the United States since then. I think the scary thing for people is that they have really high. I don't think that they've been seeing them in the numbers that they're seeing them, and they're really worried about the honeybee population. Because without the honeybee,
those murder hornets decapitate bees.
Right. And so I think honeybees still actually pollinates about 45% of our food. 45 or 60, somewhere in between 45 and 60% of our food is still pollinated by bees. And remember, we spent like 8 years even trying to figure out what the fuck happened to the bees because they all just started dying.
Right.
So they've conservationists, beekeepers, zoologists, and all that have really spent like 10 years really just trying to rebuild the bee population so it can pollinate some of its food out here. So they're really scared to have that in the ecosystem in our country. But I guess it's just one of those things that we're dealing with. So I personally haven't seen one, but if I did, I know I'll be fascinated because I'm a big nerd like that. So West Coast, man, I know y'all talked about it on the Defy Life show, but I definitely wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to bring it up and mention it. So are you all talked out about it, or you want to drop something on it?
Well, no, I just learned something new about it. Apparently, they were found initially basically in South Asia or in all the far East Asia. So we're looking at Taiwan, China, South Korea, and Japan, where it is called Osuzumibachi, which apparently translates to great sparrow wasp because the thing is legit 5 centimeters long. Like they're huge. Mm-hmm. But they are super gangster creatures. Like these motherfuckers they decapitate honeybees. That's pretty much what they eat. They decapitate them and eat them. But apparently they can kill up to 50 people a year. Oh no, wait, the figure is actually 12 deaths a year in Japan. They drag rats, like they jump rats. Basically, they just jump them, and will drag rats out and eat them.
Yo, I saw one of these things stinging a rat, and after it stung it picked the motherfucker up and flew away with the bitch. A rat,
like they're dragging off rats, like they're gangsters.
Nah, I was just playing. It ain't fly away with it, but still, like you get the point, like.
I'm about to say, damn, it was gangster then.
It takes a few of them to do it, but they do drag them off.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like these things are crazy.
I mean, 5 paper wasps can pick up like what? Something like a softball sized object. 5 of them.
Yeah.
Those are paper wasps. You know what I'm saying? I can only imagine what those big ass Japanese hornets would do. Those things are diesel, yo. Like I tell you, I smacked him with a wooden cutting board. I mean, I got him good, like a ping pong type of smack. You know what I'm saying? Dead center. And he was just stunned a little bit. Like, I was like, oh, shit, what is that? Because I thought it was like like I said, a hummingbird or something. Then I noticed it was like it had the stripes on it. So I just sprayed the fuck out of it. Got closer. It was a Japanese hornet. Oh, shit. That motherfucker was big as hell. It was scary looking now. It was gnarly looking for sure. I wouldn't want it to land on me. But it's a bug, you know.
And I don't know anything about their gestation period or their reproductive period, but it is still very early spring, and so most of our native wasp and hornets and things like that haven't laid, like they've laid their first round of eggs, but it takes about 22 days for them to hatch, so they haven't hatched yet. So most of the things that we're seeing are queens. Yeah, so usually you get your first batch the first or second week of maybe May. So, but
it is the first or second week of May right now.
yeah,
It
so
is.
mostly what we should be seeing are queens. And then the next couple of weeks or so, you're going to start seeing a lot of workers, which are all females as well. So I hear a lot of people refer to wasp and hornets as males, but most of the time you only see the males when it's mating season.
Right.
Those are all females that you see.
Well, on a positive note, they don't have wasp-like facial recognition. That's the one thing that makes wasps so terrifying, is that they recognize, like, there that motherfucker go right there.
Right.
Like kill them at night so they can't
They
see.
still see like regular insects, but no, wasps legitimately can see you and be like, "What's up with you, bruh? You cool? Oh, you not cool?
Right.
I'll be right back. Stay right there."
No
But
doubt.
these apparently
no doubt.
don't have that, so that's a good thing.
Right. Well, they just blindly, without recognizing shit, just kill the shit that they run up on.
Yeah.
I would hate to run. I wonder how big they nest getting. So I would hate to run up on the nest of them shits.
Man, fucking JR asked Pooh yesterday. He was like, "Look, man, let's say you out in the woods and you finally run up on one of these hornet or these particular hornets' nests, poking it with whatever stick you got. How long is it gonna take for you to get that 4.4 speed back?" Nigga Pooh was like, "Oh no, that's instant. Like, I'm on the move. I'm out. Bad knees and all. I'm gone."
Yeah, man. I don't know. We gotta just be careful, man. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on out here.
Yeah.
Big
Be
ass
careful.
Yeah, be careful. Big ass hornets.
Oh,
Hopefully
these
they
guys
keep
are
the honeybees safe, because I actually love to I don't buy honey from the store. I actually go to the farmers market and the farmers and all that and buy my honey directly from them. I talk to a lot of beekeepers all the time, so they're definitely worried about this type of stuff. So, y'all ready for our wacky stat of the week?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
All right, man. This is gonna. I think this is not gonna shock you guys, but it's definitely some information. It's a little sports related, but since the first Olympic Games in 1996, how many gold medals would you say the United States has earned?
320.
How many?
320 is my first guess.
320. Hollywood Paul, what you got?
329.
329. Now I said since the first Olympic Games, 1896.
You said 1996.
My bad. I meant to say 1896. Anybody want to revise the answer?
3,200.
What about you, Hollywood?
I don't know, 1900. Gold medals.
No doubt. Yeah, so gold medals. All right, so the United States team has brought home the gold medal 1,131 times.
Hey.
Whatever, these prices right rules, motherfucker. You went over.
Hey, man. I was close to them.
Both of y'all went over. Y'all went way over. The U.S. team has earned the greatest number of gold medals in any single games of any other country, and the record for that is the jaw-dropping 83 gold medals that they won in the 1984 Summer Olympic Games in L.A.
Yeah, I mean, I remember even that boxing team. That 84 team had the boxing team of science and technology. Them motherfuckers was all taking home the gold. I think all but one of the whole U.S. boxing team in 84 took home the gold, and the one that didn't took home either a silver or bronze. Let me check.
So Hollywood, while he's checking, what does that do when do you follow the Olympics?
Of course.
So when you are bringing home that much hardware, is that like national pride? Is that like?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's something. Olympics, for one thing, is something that the government uses for propaganda. It's just another way to show that we're a superior force, and we have the superior athletes, we have the superior military, we have the superior science, everything. So that's just another way to show that America is number one. It builds patriotism. It builds, you know what I'm saying, loyalty to the country itself, pride. And then for the athlete themselves that wins the gold, they have hit the lottery at that point. Their years of training and years of competing and coming out on top is now going to pay off in endorsements. So it's a big money thing, for the U.S. as well. I mean, because companies are going to make a shitload of money selling merchandise. You know what I mean? And then again, like I said, it's a big thing for government to utilize that. It's almost like, showing up with your show dog, saying, "Hey, my dog's better than yours." You know, look how stout he is. Look how strong he is. Look how he can do this and do that. You know, so if you come over here trying to fuck with me, just know we breed him this way. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's a psychological thing on top of like that honorable. Hey, U.S. is number one. It brings the country together. It serves multiple purposes.
Right.
I mean, just to
really
piggyback on that, if you think about it like this, did you ever see the documentary called Icarus?
Yes, after you told me about it, I had to
right.
go
It was
spend
talking
3
about
hours. Yeah.
The Russian doping. Their whole team was on steroids. The entire Russian team at one point was on steroids, and the games were actually in Russia, so they had actually set up a way to take the tainted blood and replace it with clean blood, all under everybody's eyes, like at the same time. Like it was as ridiculous as there was like a hole in an electrical socket, and somebody would slide through the dirty valves or dirty vials of blood and get clean vials of blood. But all of that to say, the reason why they wanted to, this was just past the Cold War. Russia is breaking up. The USSR rather had broken up, and so Russia wanted to reestablish itself as a world power. And so the way that they were going to incentivize their people for nationalism was they were going to use these Olympic Games, because they took home an unprecedented amount of medals for those games. And they wanted to show their people, we are strong, we are powerful, we can compete with everybody in any way. This just is sport. Imagine us on this front, the economic front, the every other kind of front.
Right.
Like it's used exactly like you said, as propaganda. It helps boost the nationalism of whatever country is doing well. For the record, I did go find that 84 Olympics team, and we took gold in the light flyweight division, the flyweight division, did not medal in the bantamweight division. Featherweight was Meldrick Taylor. He took the gold. Sweet Pea Purnell Whitaker was the lightweight. He took the gold. Jerry Page, Mark Breland, Frank Tate, and that's up to light middleweight. We took the middleweight silver. Evander Holyfield got disqualified in an earlier bout, but he still took the bronze as a light heavyweight. We took the heavyweight and the super heavyweight gold. Like, the U.S. boxing team in 84 was outlandish.
What they're whooping motherfuckers' asses.
They was in there beating people's asses.
I see.
But I mean, even if you look at like reports with Hitler and stuff, just to piggyback, I mean, we see how big that was when what's my man Jesse Owens, when he won in Germany. Like, that was huge because Hitler wanted to prove to his people, that his constituents, that Germany is the world's power. They are even that more dominant in sports, you know.
Right. They
so
were the superior race.
Superior race.
They went, and when Jesse came in and just blew everybody out, that basically contradicted every damn thing he was saying and made him look like a fucking idiot, where he wouldn't even shake the man's hand.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So, I mean, that's a big thing for they use it like we were saying, propaganda, man. I mean,
straight up. I mean, but if you even think about the medals, the John Carlos and Tommy Smith, you think about those extended black power fists.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the medal stand. Like, was it propaganda? Was it inspirational? Like, you look at it however you want to look at. People are looking at their athletes especially when the athletes represent the country as opposed to a corporation. You know what I'm saying? We look at the NBA champions as one thing, but when you go win a gold medal for the United States, we all fuck with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So real quick, who's your favorite Olympic athlete? West Coast J.
Oh, shit. That was a real sneaky, slide question. Come back to me.
Hollywood Paul, your favorite Olympic athlete?
Off the top, I might say, what was my man name? Michael Johnson, the sprinter.
Ooh.
I think he was one of my favorite, man. It was between him and then Donovan Bailey. Remember, Donovan Bailey was the one that beat Michael Johnson.
I remember.
First time.
Okay. Track guy. Guy. Yeah.
Real super fast. He had one of those gold spikes.
Okay. My mother, when coming up, got to run in the Junior Olympics. She wasn't fast enough to make the team, but she did place, and she was fast enough in the country to run in the Junior Olympics coming up.
Damn.
And my little cousin, LR Little Rodney, he was actually also in those last heats where he ended up losing to guys like Tyson Gay and Justin Gatling and all those guys. He was the fastest track person on the East Coast, and he got to run up all the way up into those track events, up until the ones that decided who goes to the Olympics. So he was also super duper fast. So yeah. So I would have to say my favorite might be my favorite would have to be maybe Michael Phelps.
The fish.
That's
true.
And Dominique Dawes and that entire 2006 U.S. Women's Olympic gymnastics team. Those were my babies. Now they has the 20 what was that, the 2018 team? Did they unseat them as your favorite?
Yes, because that once you said Dominique Dawes, who was on my list, mostly because Dominique Dawes was so fine. Simone Biles might be my for real favorite Olympian.
That's my boo.
That little motherfucker is a beast.
I mean, if we're talking about teams now, then the Dream Team, I gotta take MJ as one of my favorite Olympians because knowing the story of how my man won the gold and would refuse to show the Reebok label because he just signed on with Nike. Come on, man, you gotta love it. Yeah, bringing that type of swag to the Olympics, and then my second, I guess I gotta say Kobe Bryant on the Redeem Team. I mean. Come on, man. There's nothing like it. Like, what?
Now, did Vince jump over the 7-footer in an Olympics, or was it a FIBA championship?
I think that was a FIBA.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a FIBA championship.
Okay. That would have been that was one of my favorite moments in basketball history.
Oh, mine
that
too.
Motherfucker jumped over a 7'2" dude. Over
mine
him.
too.
2 steps, bro. 2 steps, jumped over him.
Man.
To this day, I haven't seen anything like it.
Nope, not to this day. But Simone Biles, for real, probably might be my 1-1. Like she's impressive to watch. She's amazing to watch, actually. Like amazing to watch. She still just be winning championships just to do it now.
Yeah.
She really is. I had a thing for track. I know when I was in college, I used to me and my best friend. He's married now, so I ain't gonna say no names. Me and my best friend used to have a thing for track girls. So we used to, for whatever reason, meet like chicks from like the Adidas team and like the Nike team. They will always be hanging out because I guess USC had a lot of track meets, and so we will always like get to hang out with these chicks that ran track for track women have amazing bodies. Oh my God.
What? That's why you were hanging around them.
Yeah,
what the fuck
don't even sit here and try and act like that wasn't the reason. Like the female track booties are different.
I say they ain't gonna have too much of the T, but they gonna have all the A. Okay.
Oh my God, track chicks. Ooh, track women. Oh my God.
Like yes, there's nothing. Those legs are impressive.
They have all their Adidas and Reebok and Nike gear and shit on, looking super duper motherfucking good. Like, oh yeah, that was like a thing. I used to be like, man, how we keep meeting these Adidas chicks? Like, I don't know. Like, but long time ago. Long time ago.
Man, that was 2 weeks ago, man. Quit playing.
That was right before COVID, bruh. That was right before the Rona. Quit playing.
Quit playing.
Shout out to my guy here this episode. He's gonna know exactly who I'm talking about, when I'm talking about, and all that. Hey man, we're gonna wrap that topic up, man. We had some petty party politics to kind of get to, but we kind of touched on it when we were talking about the COVID stuff earlier, but we just wanted to, so I'm not going to get too deep into it, but the president was basically saying that he was going to end the coronavirus task force. He got a lot of pushback this week from basically everyone, because we're still in the fucking middle of the pandemic. Why would you end the task force? And so he came out today and was like, he's going to keep it in place and replace some people and add some people and all of this. But he is ready to move on. This is not a winning issue for him. So I think I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to ask you. So Congress passed the stimulus plan. They're working on another one. He did sign it. He was, I won't say he helped with the legislation, but it does require that he sign it to make it a law. So he did that. So he essentially has helped families, I would say. The economy is at a complete standstill, which is his big winning issue. So he definitely wants to get that kind of back going so he can continue to brag about it. But he also ignored for 2 months all the warning signs, all the intelligence he was getting, saying that, hey, bro, it's like a fucking, like, it's a virus out there. Like, we should be preparing for it. And he was like, So I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, keeping your personal feelings aside of it, just going with the facts, what grade would you give President Trump right now for his handling of the coronavirus? Now, it's as crazy as an issue as it is, as hard of an issue as it is, take all of, I just want what no matter what your personal feelings are about him, take everything you know and kind of give me a grade. West Coast J.
D plus.
D plus. Now, wow. Oh, hold on. After you say D plus, because I'm gonna come back to you. Hollywood Paul, what grade would you give him on his handling of this coronavirus situation?
West Coast, that's why you my boy, dog. Because you took the shit right out of my head. I wasn't going to say a D plus. I was going to give him a D. Meaning, yeah, you can graduate, but this credit is not going to transfer up him. Like, you showed up.
Pretty much where I was at with it.
So I gave you a D. Okay, you showed up. But you could have applied yourself a little bit more.
A D. So those grades are very low. West Coast J, why did you... I'll give... Do you want me to give my grade, or do you want me to get y'all and then come back?
What's your grade, man? What's your grade?
I give him a C minus.
Okay.
I give him a C minus. A very low C minus. So it's really close to a D plus. But West Coast J, why did you give him that? Why did you give him that D plus?
Because I'm like exactly what Paul said. Like, I feel like, okay, you showed up for class, so you don't get an F. You don't get a pure fail, but like, you gotta retake this class, bro. Like the way that he did not listen to any of the medical professionals, even currently. I think my new favorite thing is when they put out the White House, these are the requirements for states to be able to begin opening, and people were blatantly ignoring them, and he's like, good job, guys. I'm like, dude, look. If you're going to at least put out these things that the medical professionals have told you, these are the doctors and all the et ceteras, they've told you this is the best way to do things. And when you put out the guidelines, when you got states openly being like, I'm not doing that, and you're praising them, like, come on, you're not giving us You're not giving us the right way of looking at things. Like, you are legitimately just plain making shit up. As you feel like it should be made up, as opposed to that. I don't feel like he took care of the people. I don't feel like he had the people's best interest in mind.
Right. Okay. D plus. That's not good at all. Hollywood Paul, why did you give him a D?
Like I said, he showed up to class. He was not on time for one, so he dropped a letter grade for that.
He was not on time though.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't turn in his assignments on time at all. He finally got it in, and it was piss poor work, so I gave him a D. He's going to take this over. Or he can graduate, but the credit ain't going to transfer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just think that he's not setting the proper tone for the severity of what our medical professionals have told us, the levels where things are at, basically. I just think that the commander-in-chief, getting the information and intel that he could have prevented a lot of the economic strain that we are experiencing right now. There could have been something in place. It could have been more proactive. If we were being attacked, unless they wanted an attack to actually happen to propagate some things and bring us together to go to war, if they wanted to actually prevent some shit from happening, they could. I mean, come on. Like, I have a family member that works for a government entity, and it's very little that they don't know is going to happen. Let me put it that way. So to make believe or get on TV and act like, oh, we're just now finding out, or we're just able to do something about this, I mean, it's bullshit. He knows it. I mean, even like West Coast said, like, praising state officials for not following your rules. Well, I mean, they're being insubordinate. Isn't that one of his pet peeves? So why take the casual, oh, good job, guys. Why take that role now? I mean, they're not listening to direct orders from the office.
Right.
What the fuck? You're a D minus. I mean, borderline about to fail this joint to me, because he signed the bill to help people out financially. That's what saved part of his grade for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just signing it. Just thank you for signing it. Thanks for not being a bitch.
Straight up, like that's why he didn't get an F.
Like, thank you. So, but other than that, yeah, I just don't. I don't think that this. So far, he hasn't shown too much compassion for the people. As a leader, When I led a basketball team, when someone got hurt, someone had something going on at home, someone wasn't feeling well, I was that guy to always check on them and show compassion. Even though, yeah, we got to play a game, we got to go to practice, got to work out, but let's make sure you're good along the way. You know what I mean? Let me keep checking on you. Let me make sure everything's in place to help you out along the way, to keep you focused and make sure things are good, and we might can attack things together. If you have something coming up, you need help on, whatever the case may be. You have to lead, and I just don't think he does that efficiently, in my opinion. Right.
Okay. I'm feeling all of that.
I mean, and my boss, he's a Trumper. My manager at the hotel I work at, he voted for Trump. He's a Jamaican black guy. He voted for Trump straight up, and we had that conversation when I broke it down to him. He actually agreed wholeheartedly and was like, yeah, he's extremely disappointed, especially the horrible allocation of the funds during this time to corporations who are like, yeah, we don't need this money. Why are you sending us $10 million? You could send that to the people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's D. It's a D.
D. Yeah. So I'll say why I give him a D plus C minus type of range. And you guys know, you've heard me say I was actually rooting for him to handle this situation like an actual president. I really was.
He was. I'll give you that.
Not so much for him, but for my counterparts out there in this nation that needed a good president to guide us through this craziness.
The crazy shit is, it's not like he has to come up with it on his own. He has people there that he can lean on.
Right, he does, but he doesn't. He's a president of himself. Like, he's got the. And for a while, he did show like, hey, I've got the people in mind. Well, so because there's a couple phases to this. So they're not counting you, because you can't completely ignore the fact that he's literally known about this since January, probably a month before that. But he had all those national security meetings and all those briefings and all those people telling him that there's this virus in China that's doing some shit and it can get here. And he knew. And he ignored the first three briefings. He did nothing. He could have mobilized people at that point to begin to get PPE, to begin to get testing kits, to begin to get all the shit that we are still don't really have. He could have mobilized us at the beginning of the year to get that stuff taken care of and handled.
I mean, he had intel about the guy coming back from China that could possibly have the virus that he's carrying, that he's hosting. He could have stopped it in California when that plane landed.
Well, I won't say he could have stopped it. I'm saying we could have been right. We could have been better prepared at that point versus him ignoring the intelligence that he had. One thing I can say about the United States intelligence apparatus, it is fucking like Hollywood Paul said, it ain't much they don't know. If you wink your eyes every 32 seconds, they can tell the president, yeah, that motherfucker blink his eye every 32 seconds. It's the left eye, not the right eye. They got 13 eyelashes. Them motherfuckers that good. Like, so it ain't too much that surprises them. So I will say that, and prior to that, the Bush and the Obama administration had a task force in their administrations for pandemic response and research and all of that shit. And 3 years ago, when President Trump became president, he disbanded that task force. After being briefed by the Obama administration that there could be a virus or a pandemic that's airborne that strikes the world. If that's foresight or leadership for you, he didn't show a good judgment there, at least. So I'm definitely giving him very low grades as far as preparedness. But then it happened. Then we had to shut the country down. Then we had to get, so I do give him points for kind of being on top of that. Like, even though it was largely the governors and the states, like, he had a hand in making sure that people knew that that's what you needed to do, right? Like, so I do give him points for that. I do give him points for recognizing that, like, the country and people were going to be hurting, and like they did take $2 trillion before this and just dump it into the market to try to keep the markets afloat. So when we were losing $5 trillion in 2 and 3 weeks in the market, they were so I do understand that he tried things to keep things afloat, and then they passed the big stimulus package, and so I think there's a lot of effort there. Now, whether it was well written or companies got it. So that stuff is semantics, and he didn't write the law, so I don't think that's his fault. But there are a lot of his personal friends and donors that got even like personally rich off of this. And there are reports into that right now. And now he's on national TV lying every day. And so I did have him at a higher grade, but it seems like the longer this goes on, the less it seems like he cares.
Yeah.
His attention span is waning. Even though it's still, we're at 1.3 million people infected, and we are well over 60,000 people. Now the new projections are 100,000 people are going to die, but we're also reopening states. So maybe that continues to go up. So we're not out of this. But he's talking every day like we're out of this. And so I'm really disappointed, because I did really want this, unselfishly, I did really want him to win with this issue. And I just think, so I do see the good that he's tried to do, but it's just definitely not, it's in the D plus range. And now that the more I'm talking, I'm thinking about just giving him a solid D. But, so listeners weigh in.
Like I said, I don't think he completely failed, but he certainly dropped the ball. Like, he certainly did not do enough to get a passing grade.
No, not at all. I think he needed. So case in point, when we've talked about. I don't think we've talked about his poll. So his poll numbers, the highest his poll numbers have been, is like 49%. 46 if you mix the ones that they've taken since the whole time this pandemic has been happening. Americans usually rally around their president in a crisis. After 9/11 happened, President Bush had a 92% approval rating. And that's even with the 36% of Democrats that couldn't stand him.
President Trump is not going to have that number.
The American people just rally around their leader when there's something crazy going on. History has proven that. If you can't get to 50% approval and you're leading a pandemic.
Yeah, like he bumbled. Like I said, he bumbled. He showed up for class, but he showed up late, and he showed up unprepared, and he showed up with the wrong information. So really, he only didn't fail because he came to class.
Well, gentlemen, that's what we got. Now, we're still planning on November happening, and honestly, we'd be talking heavy politics had all this not happened.
Yep,
but it should be. Like, we should be trying to figure out how the Democrats are going to circle the wagon to make sure that Joe Biden is the one.
Right.
We should be talking about that. Instead, we have to deal with the fact that, the president is going from place to place, refusing to wear masks.
Well, let me ask y'all this: Does his handling of this West Coast does this hurt him? Just quick answer: yes or no.
Significantly.
In November, does this hurt him? Yes.
Significantly.
Yes. Hollywood Paul, in November, does this hurt him?
To the ones that don't like him and didn't vote for him the first time, absolutely yes. To the ones that still believe in him, they're still holding on to hope. So we'll see.
And what?
Meaning hope, meaning, yeah, he might have bumbled this one and just showed up to class, but what about the next one? Let's give him a chance. And I mean, sorry to say, but that's kind of their mentality.
Well, let me ask this.
I don't think that's going to be the answer at all. I think that everybody who was on the fence and just really, really didn't like Hillary, and so that's why they voted for him, he's lost them.
Well, yeah.
Well, let me ask this, because I got another caveat. Because I was in a humongous social media argument with a younger black guy, actually, that was like, I tell you what, Bush nor Obama never did nothing for me, and Trump got me this stimulus check. And I was like,
did he forget about the stimulus checks that the other two presidents dropped on us?
I guess so. Maybe he ain't get. Maybe he.
It wasn't enough money. That's
it wasn't enough. That's what it is. All right,
but let me ask this: stimulus round 1, and they're gonna pass stimulus round 2. That could mean $1,200 a month for 6 months or something like that.
Oh yeah, Paul, you had there's 3 options on the table, weren't there?
Yeah, one was they were going to give us $2,000 a month for a year. The second one is basically you're not going to pay rent for a year or mortgages, and of course the landlords will be able to get all that written off. And then option 3 was basically it was something to do with tax. Wasn't it West Coast? Like certain amount of taxes were going to get taken.
It was a freeze on payroll taxes.
Right. So basically, you get your full check instead of them taking out for all the Medicaid, Medicare, and all the FICA and all that stuff. So, and essentially, I believe part of that was to work out not paying back the $1,200. But a lot of course, all the people who are seeing this stuff are writing in and signing petitions for option number one. Everybody went to $2,000. A lot of other people are wanting the no rent, because I mean that's still a come up as well. You don't have to pay rent or your mortgage for a year. That's a come up every month. You can keep in your pocket.
Right. I would actually prefer that. Really.
I mean, then I saw on the West Coast. I would love number one or two, personally, but number one or number two is a come up. Right. Number three, it's helping, but that goes back to my saying of helping but not helping. Yeah, they're in a hole. You took them out of a deep hole that was 10 feet and put them in a hole that was only 4 feet. So they're still in one nonetheless. So. Well,
I brought that up to ask this. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but I brought that up to ask a specific question. Okay. Stimulus one passes. There are already people out there that thinks President Trump got this done for me. Mm-hmm. Stimulus 2 passes. There's going to be even more people that think President Trump got this done for me.
Yeah, Stimulus 2 is going to be an act of politics. Like, and right there, that's where we'll find out what happens in November.
And if people can't read, bro, that's the third level.
Right, and if it passes, then do people forget? Like, is money is Congress passing these next couple of relief packages going to get Trump over the hump of this debacle and back into the White House for another 4 years? West Coast Jay.
I think that's possible, yeah. Because like I said, when you asked me initially if Biden wins does he have a chance? I didn't think he had even a puncher's chance. Now, I feel like it's a way closer race. But with the second stimulus and the attention span that the country generally has, which is a real short one. Mm-hmm. Like, if the last thing they remember is, but he gave me some money, though, then yeah, it doesn't hurt him nearly as bad as his handling of... Then his D+, he'll still be able to graduate. He won't even need those credits.
Hollywood Paul, what you think?
If President Trump signs a bill that gives the American public $2,000 a month for 12 months, he's going to be the next president again.
Straight up.
Yeah.
If he gives them free rent and mortgage for a year, people are going to be like, hey, he might be a dick, he might have did this, he might have did that, but hey, I had to pay my mortgage for a year.
Yeah, and that's why I phrased the question like that. That is becoming as I'm watching this and I'm looking at this, if they don't hurry up and pass this bill, like if this shit passes in like September and October.
Right. Like if he holds it off until even June, July.
It don't even matter when he does it. He's going to brag that he did it.
Yes, he is.
Over and over and over up until the point of time to voting. So it don't matter when it passes, because he's going to milk that damn thing.
Oh, he is.
And it's the almighty dollar, bruh. Nigga, we talked about it on one of our shows, the different levels of money, how it affects people's lives, okay? And so some people don't even have dollars coming in at all. Motherfuckers that don't like Trump start getting a check deposited every month, $2,000 on the 1st or the 15th. The people that don't like him are going to be like, hey, he ain't that bad.
That's my fear. That's why I brought it up.
I mean, come on, man.
And now, granted, Democrats are the primary crafters of this bill and this law.
Right. And
I mean,
but the establishment Democrats are also millionaires.
True.
Some of them.
I mean, they're going to have to milk that as well. They're going to have to let it be known that to sway the voters, they're the ones that are going to have to be up there selling how they got that done for the people. It wasn't Trump. And they're going to have to do some kind of way to catch them up in blatant tongue-twisted lies and call them out on it in debates or whatever the case may be. But he's going to milk that shit because he's going to be the one to sign it.
Yeah, he is.
But they're going to have to basically prove the case that they got it in front of him to sign.
And that's why he was trying to make sure he was trying to get the Treasury Department to put Trump on the checks.
Sure was.
Oh, brother, that's like getting a check from Jesus.
So I am terrified that once again, there's a lot of Americans out there. It's not too, their attention spans are short, like what you said, West Coast, and they're not too bright. And I think if we are in a situation where we got to pass another stimulus and the government is like sending people checks, it's going to be a tough road for Joe Biden to beat Donald Trump.
It was already a tough road for Joe Biden to beat Donald Trump.
Well, it's going to get a whole lot tougher.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
But those are my thoughts on it.
What do you think, Money? You think he got another? You think he's got another shot if he gives out $2,000 or free rent for a year?
Oh, that's what I said. I wholeheartedly believe that if Uncle Sam is sending people checks, it's going to be a whole people you never even thought of out there praising Trump's name.
Checks that say Trump on them. Like he's trying to even, like Obamacare is Obamacare. He is trying to make it so that any new package that comes out is Trump care. Trump checks. People are going to be calling them Trump checks and shit. And I'm very, very, very afraid that that's all it's going to take for him to be in the White House for another 4 years. I'm very, very afraid. And this is just I've just been thinking about this since the stimulus 2 is kind of looking like it's going to be a thing. And maybe if it's just like a one-time thing, I wouldn't be so concerned. But if it's like, for 6 straight months, 8 straight months, you getting this check. Oh, like
in November,
12 straight months, then he's literally giving you a check for the threshold of the poverty line. Yeah, so you ain't gonna forget that in November. So there are gonna be people that don't vote for him just because, like, I'm not voting for him at all. Period. So there are gonna be people out there like that. But like West Coast Jay said, those people that may have been those Hillary that just people just didn't voted for him just because they didn't want to vote for Hillary, and they're gone now. They'll be back if this shit passes, and it's got his name on it. That's my biggest worry. So we gotta zip this one up though, guys. But very interesting topic. Thank you, listeners. Definitely let us know what your opinions are on that, and we'll share them on the show. Whew, y'all ready for our main topic?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Our main topic is, as all this stuff is happening, as we're starting to reopen, and, I saw, 200 people showed up in Georgia to get their hair done and their nails done, and somebody else, there was lines outside waiting for the Jordans because the Jordans dropped. It kind of got me to thinking, as stuff reopens, what are some of the things you expect to see just from people? What's some of the shit that you don't expect to see, and things that you'll be shocked to see, or maybe not so shocked to see. Hollywood Paul, man, let me start with you. Let me chime in on all that, man. What are some of the things that you think you're gonna see? A spike in travel. Everybody gonna jump on a plane real quick and get flued out, or you think it's gonna be a run on concerts, or you don't think there'll be too many concerts, or like just tell me what you think what's gonna happen as things reopen.
Part of me thinks that black folks ain't going to be running out there, jumping in the bandwagon, doing everything. And then another part of me says that everybody going to just going to try to jump out there, business as usual, because they're itching to. I believe that people are going to, like you said, jump out to the concerts. They're going to jump out to everywhere, like business as normal. And if nothing happens, they're going to be like, oh, see, I told you, or if something happens, I'm like, well, man, and here's my excuse. Here's my justification. Here's my reason for being stupid, or not being cautious. So, that's my take on it. I'm not going to be surprised either way. Like I personally expect like black folks to be like, yeah, this shit open. My job said I can still work from home, so I ain't really going nowhere right now. I'm gonna wait to see what happens with everybody else. Now, I might go get my hair done or my nails done or something, but I'm gonna come on back home. Like that's what I'm expecting. But I do think people are going to travel. I do. I was telling my girl, like, shit, I might go sell cars again, make a quick $150 throughout the next 8 months because people are going to be traveling, man. I'm definitely going to trade some stock options on oil because people are going to travel. I'm definitely going to be buying some Boeing options because people are going to be buying flights. So American, I'm going to buy into that as well. Amazon, people are going to be shopping and sending out gifts. They're going to be wanting to take them in person. It's going to be a lot of things happening. And if you're smart, you need to look at things in this world and take advantage of it and try to put some in your pocket when it's happening. Because people are going to do it.
Okay. So wait, let me ask this: the people that were in line for the Jays, you think they was what color? You think they were?
That's why I added my second point on about they might run out to do certain things. The African Americans, they might take their ass on back home, but being out there nonetheless is still being out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's I hope it was worth it. If you got the new J's, it's gonna cost you $200, but if you can't breathe and go nowhere, does it matter? If you're dead, does it matter?
That's facts.
Can you leave those J's to your family or siblings and set them up while you're gone to handle your arrangements? You know what I'm saying? Can that help them out in some way financially? Can that feed them? Can they eat those shoes? Are they still worth the same after now at this point? After you're gone, are they worth $200 still? How is that? I just want people to think like, what moves are you making? What is that going to do for you at this time right now? Is it worth possibly, getting sick? Like,
you can't even go nowhere. Like, wow.
What are you going to be wearing them to? Right. Like I just got invited to a party this Friday, and they were like, yeah, it's going to be like they gave me the guest list basically. Because I'm one of those who all is going to be there type guys, right? And they gave me the guest list. There's about 28 people on this guest list at this house party. I won't be there.
Right.
I will not be there. I work with these motherfuckers. Most of them. I know some of y'all be going to the bathroom not washing your hands.
No doubt. West Coast J, man. As the country reopens, man, what do you expect to see? What don't you expect to see? Are you going to be shocked by anything?
The only thing that I expect to see is the second wave.
Oh, shit.
My boy went right to it, didn't he?
That's the only thing I expect. The people that are talking, the fact that the Michigan's running up on governors. Texas last week had a whole bar got arrested. They had a militia outside the damn bar because this bartender was just like, fuck it, I'm opening. Then this is before everybody's back to open. So the moment that everybody opens and people start gathering and trying to be close and trying to get back together around people and, oh my God, I missed people. Like, I ain't missed people that much.
Right.
I saved some N92 masks just for when we reopen because I'm like, I use a couple of them at first. I switched to the cloth because I'm like, when this shit reopens, people are going to be everywhere. So I know I got to go to the hotel. I'm definitely going to be wearing my N92 mask to filter the air just in case. That's why I saved them for this time right here.
You fucking better. Both of y'all.
I expect it.
Bruh. Like,
I have to go out when I go to work.
The second
I have to.
So all you expect is a second wave. You don't even think we're going to get to this. You don't even think we're going to get to this.
What I think is going to happen is I think we're going to open, and within a month, shit's closing again.
That's not funny, but
every weekend, I've literally, it's about 5 people I've gotten cussed out by, like straight up cussed out. And I had to like put my nigga on, you know what I'm saying, to get them to leave me alone about trying to check into this hotel. Like people trying to fuck, people trying to get out the house. So I expect it's going to be a lot of people out. Because every weekend, I'm talking about since we first shut down, like I've been having to hey man, you can't check in if you don't have this, this or that. You know what I'm saying? And I've been getting cussed the fuck out, dog.
What do you gotta have?
You got to have a document that says you're an essential worker. You got to have a piece of paper that shows you've been tested for COVID and it's come up negative. And then you have to either be like your essential work. It has to be something that like you have to have your assignment basically. Like, why are you traveling? Why are you having to stay here? You know what I'm saying? Like, is someone infected at home? Like, you have to have documentation. Right. And then we take a copy of all of that and your ID, and then we can check you in. And then if you're a healthcare medical professional, you get the room for free. If you're just a regular person working at a gas station or some shit, you got to pay full rate. You can't use any corporate discounts right now. None of that shit. So if you just at the house want to get out and go to a hotel, you can't do that at my hotel.
Wow, I did not know that.
People been cussing me the fuck. Like, one dude was like, man, I just got this girl, man, we meeting up and shit. She done drove all the way from Charlotte. I'm from Raleigh. I'm like, well, you should have met her here, brother. Cuss me the fuck out. I had to put my nigga on. I had to put my nigga on. I was like, bruh, the fuck you want me to do? This is like, it says pause in, nigga. God damn. And like, then he finally left.
Damn, was Shorty already with him?
Shorty was in the car behind him, like, looking good than the motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, God damn, nigga, you must got some bread. He looked like Magilla Gorilla. That bitch was bad.
Right.
Like, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I was like, oh, damn, how you get her? But he did pull up in the G5, and he was definitely cussing me the fuck out. It was a white lady, man, pulled up. Talking about she was traveling and shit, and she wanted to get some sleep, and she had a little minivan. I was like, unfortunately, you could pull up in the parking garage and, lay your seats down and go, I can't check you in, no. She cussed me the fuck out, was like, how dare you? There's a pandemic going on. You're going to put me out in the streets? At the same time, a homeless guy walked up and was trying to use the bathroom. I was like, yeah, it's not open to the public. You got to leave. I wouldn't let him in or her. You know what I'm saying? She cussed me out. He started cussing me out. And I was just like, look, what the y'all want to fight or what? What do you? Because I'm not going to change my mind. Right. You can't whoop my ass. So what you going to do? You going to keep you? So they finally left. So, yeah, I've been dealing with it. So I know people are going to be they want to get back to normal. I mean, I had a guy offer me $100 to open the bar and let him sit there and drink. And I was like, well, look, I'll serve you drinks, but I ain't opening shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want other people coming down here to it. So, like, yeah, sure. It's just people are itching for it. Oh, yeah, man. So I got that honey. No,
that's set. I just thought about one other thing that I expect. The advent of the fashion face mask.
Oh, yeah.
I expect that to come with the second wave as well.
You mean so like Gucci and Ralph Lauren and all that?
Me and my brother were laughing about this. I was talking to my brother about this shit the other day. And he was like, man, no, I got like 4 or 5 different ones. You feel me? If I got on my Lakers shit, then I put on this one. If I got on my Giants shit, I put on this one. If I got on I'm like,
oh, shit. Okay.
Like, I feel like the fashion mask is going to, you know what I'm saying, shit that go with your shit.
Mm-hmm.
It match your shoes, it match your fit, exactly. it match all that.
Mm-hmm.
Your hat. Oh, I can see.
He was like, man, I got my regular all black for when I go to work, and then I got my so-and-so, and then I got this orange one then for when I got my Giant shit on, and then I got this purple one for when I got my Lakers shit on.
Bro, this shit is they running ads of them joints on Facebook right now. It's like a bunch of companies are selling that.
And you know how niggas are. Niggas gonna take that shit.
Wait till Louis V have one. Wait till
that shit.
Wait till Team Jordan drop one with that Jumpman on the side.
With a Jumpman on it.
Ooh, that Tar Heel blue joint.
My company just sent a mask with some logos on it.
Yep. I saw that shit. I was like, yo, that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. The advent of the fashion accessory mask as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, I'm wearing this shit because I'm trying to be safe. No. I'm wearing this shit because I want to be fly and safe. I also think that going forward,
or it's just a fad.
Eye makeup is about to be on fleek.
What's about to be on fleek?
Ladies' eye makeup. They eye makeup game about to be crazy. We finna start looking at these motherfuckers like they wearing burkas.
Because that's all you can see.
All we gonna be able to see is their eyes. Their eye makeup game gonna be on point. We about to see some of the most well manicured eyebrows, some of the most beautiful color schemes wrapped around eyes.
let me ask you. Let me, because y'all know me. Like, so have y'all tried to like, Hollywood? I know you haven't, but have y'all tried to like holler at a chick with these masks on and shit? Because I have. I'll tell you my experience. I was in the store. I was buying groceries as always, because that's like all you can do. You can either be at home or you can be at the store buying groceries. That's like it. Those at the store buying groceries, and I walked past I'm talking about shorty was bad. She had on the workout pants, just how I describe it. Like she had that shape was crazy, and that little booty was poking out, and I was like, oh my, and she smelled so good, and I was like, oh my God, like, and but I have two masks. So when I go out, I have a 2 mask, and she had on a mask. And y'all know my confidence is normally like off the fucking chain, like. And so I was like, I just stopped you to, I asked how she was doing. She told me, and she just kind of looked at me. She told me she was doing fine. And I was like, well, I just wanted you to know you was very beautiful today. But I didn't have the same like swagger or the same like, like the same dog in them that I got when I want to chick number.
The salt and pepper patch covered up the past, bro.
Trying to tell you, bro, she couldn't see your full R&B 3/4 G unit. Like she couldn't see the beard.
Man, stop it, man. Like, yeah, man. But my swagger and my confidence, it was like I didn't even ask for her number. Now, normally, I got a rule, y'all. If she like a 7 and up, and I'm kind of feeling her, and I say something to her, I'm asking for her number. Period. I don't care how bad she is, because I just feel like no matter how bad a chick is, somebody fucking her. Right? That's just how I feel. I feel like no matter how bad a girl is, a chick is, somebody out there fucking. And a lot of times the nigga that's fucking her ain't who you think it is. So I was just say I'd definitely be shooting. I'd shoot my shot. Whatever. I ask what's up. And so, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. And I was like, it's the fucking mask and shit. Like, it's the fucking, I don't have the same confidence, man. So,
man, dude, all you gotta do at this point, you just got to keep going out and doing it. Eventually, you will figure out the eye game.
Okay.
Like, eventually, you'll figure that out. There's slightly more to it when your face is covered.
Okay.
Like at this point, you have to start incorporating the soul gaze.
Ooh. Okay. But I gotta say something. I gotta say something.
You certainly do, but you have to maintain eye contact.
Right. All right. Okay.
Like there can be no lookaways. There could be no, but you have to deeply look through them. Oh
wow! You don't think they're gonna think that's kind of weird?
If you're looking at them with the creepy eyes, you got to keep your eyebrows at neutral, bro. The soul gaze is that's an advanced.
Oh, art, baby. It's an art. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Like you looking like you looking for their soul.
That's exactly why it's called a soul gaze. Oh, okay. It's used by grifters and prostitutes.
I'm putting 2 and 2 together. Okay.
It's like it's like mesmerizing.
That's exactly what it is. Like the whole point is, I remember one day my brother again. Shout out Mark, bro. What up, KU Dollar? Anyway. This motherfucker one day said to me, you know what I'm saying? He said, I'll be looking in the chick's eyes, and if I don't see me reflected in them, it's a waste of my time in the first place. It's like, because the eyes are technically supposed to be the window to the soul, is what they always say. He said, no. I look at it more like a mirror. If you're looking at somebody that's real, you'll see yourself in their eyes.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. Come on with it.
Well, speaking of that, man, I was at Food Lion. Okay. And I saw something similar to what you were saying, Money, right? And me, I know I got a lady, but I'm my dad's son, so I see a pretty lady, I'm gonna say something, whether I'm flirting or just spark a conversation. Right, you know what I'm saying? So, but the thing was, why I said something, she had on this like it was like alligator skin type mask that looked like a Sub-Zero type of shit, the way it looked. I was like, yo, that's dope as hell. Yo, where you get that from? She was like, oh, I ordered it off Amazon. And I was like, oh, for real? I was like, let me see the back of that shit. And so she took it off. When she took it off, she looked like Baraka from
this motherfucker says she Mortal Kombat.
From Mortal Kombat?
Nigga. When she took everything from the nose up was like, oh my God, this gotta be ISIS. You know what I'm saying? She took that shit off. I was like, oh no. You need that mask on when the corona go away still, boo. Oh my God. Keep it on.
Yeah,
Don't.
she one of
Jesus
the ones got to catch them
Christ.
before the lights come on at the club and shit.
Like you remember on Scary Movie when your boy put the paper bag over a girl head and was smashing the closet? That's what you're gonna do to her, bro. Because everything else, neck down was like, oh my god. Nose up was like, she's a keeper. She took that shit off. I was like, oh no, you been chewing on rocks. You been chewing rocks.
Jeez, yeah, hey. You so stupid.
Motherfucker just immediately starts sounding like Scooby Doo, just raggy.
Bruh, when she took the mask off, and then the girl behind the counter, she was like, right? I was like, yo, I didn't expect that. She was like, and it didn't match with everything. I was like, no, it didn't, did it? I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that.
I was gonna say, did you have a look on your face of like, oh, did you look shocked?
I stopped and everything that I was saying, when I looked at her, I thought like, how? It's one of those girls you'll see in the grocery store. You're like, damn, she got a fat ass. You turn around, you're like, yeah, figures. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, man. Put her head on another body. Nah. But nah, she was very sweet. She was very nice. She was a cool person.
She had a great personality, man. She had a winning personality.
She really did.
When is it gonna win?
You know, somebody will love her.
Oh, no doubt. Well, I expect to see, just like you said, he had hooked up with Shorty and she was. I expect to see a whole lot of fucking hooking up.
Oh yeah.
I expect to see, the quarantine. I expect to see the quarantine breaking and motherfuckers just out there, like dudes. But fellas gonna be out there shooting. I'm talking about shooting. And I think chicks gonna be receptive. So I expect to see a whole lot of hooking up, a whole lot of fucking, a whole lot of smashing, whatever you want to call it.
Babies being born.
Which means
I'm gonna probably do my fair share. I'm gonna probably do my fair share.
December and February, I expect a baby boom.
Yeah. Cause I know it's a lot of fucking going on in these houses right now, but it ain't got shit compared to the fucking that's gonna be going on when these quarantines lift, boy. So I expect the whole and brothers gonna be out there trying to get fly. We're gonna be at the mall, shopping it up. I think so I expect to see some of that. I do not expect to see a whole lot of craziness on these cruise ships. A lot of people think they're gonna come right back, but
no, I think people kind of cool off being confined.
I think people, yeah, exactly. I think people gonna be kind of chilling on being anywhere where they gotta be like confined to some shit. So I don't expect to see a whole bunch of motherfuckers taking a whole bunch of cruises, at least immediately. I think they might wait till maybe like next year to start that shit back.
Yeah, I feel like the first thing that's going to happen, I don't even feel like flights are going to get back to normal for a while. I feel like the first thing that's going to happen, though, the rental car game is about to be out.
Right. I feel like people going to be driving. People going to be driving.
I do too.
Like, they're not going to drive all over the country, but they might, because I know I'm going to Charleston. I know I'm going to Alexandria. I already know. Like, I'm driving.
You're going to explore your area.
Right. So I might anywhere between like 3 hours from where you live. I think motherfuckers gonna be hitting the beaches. I expect to see a run on the beach. So I think all of that stuff is gonna be going on. And now what I also expect, because remember, it's 34 million motherfuckers out of work that wasn't out of work 60 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect to see ramifications of that. People gonna have to go. I don't think everybody going back today. I think there's gonna be a lot of jobs change. I don't think people are going back to the job that they had, necessarily. Because if you were gonna keep your business open, you would have kept it open, and you would have took the little business loan until they ran out of money because they fucked the money up, giving it to the big corporations. So I don't think a lot of the motherfuckers are going back to work for the people that they were working for. Like, I think a lot of that will happen, but I think it's going to also be a lot of people getting new jobs, new careers, trying that, entrepreneurship. I expect to see that type of stuff.
Especially if we get a stimulus check kicked out to us again, or payments coming in, because a lot of people are going to use that money and enjoy it, pay bills but enjoy it, and might not start looking for work right away. I know a lot of people have been fired that a lot of jobs are using this time to get rid of people they don't want there.
Yep, absolutely. Although that should be against the law, but
it should be, but they're using it in a way that's like, how corporate does it. They build their case and try to protect themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know a lot of people that work for, Pepsi Sales Direct or whatever, through Cognizant. They begin fired left and right, and no write-ups on file, no behavioral incidents. They just been saying, oh, you're not meeting quality standards, so we got to let you go. Straight up. So so a lot of that been happening, man. I know at my job, they actually got rid of a couple people. Like, yeah, we use this as a way to go ahead and furlough them, but we're not going to bring them back. Like, this was just the perfect timing, I'm like, wow, that's fucked up. But I mean, that's yeah. I mean, straight up. I mean, I've talked to some other people too that come through vendors and stuff, and they're saying the same shit. It's like, yeah, it makes sense, but it should be against the law. But I mean, it makes sense.
It does. Well, fellas, I hate to do this. I'd love to talk to y'all forever and keep chopping it up about this, but it's just like those jobs we're letting people go. We gotta let these people go, man. Hey, man, West Coast Jay, why don't you do me a favor, brother? Zip them up.
Man, well, I know we was a little heavier in the early end, and then by the end of it, we got to the laughter. So thank y'all for bearing with us through the heaviness of the original topics. The first couple of news tidbits was a little excessive, but it's happening. So by all means, stay informed. With all that said, stay safe, man. As the things start to reopen, continue to maintain the lessons that you've learned. Continue to wash your hands. Continue to keep your social distancing as well as you can. I know I'm personally going to be avoiding large groups, but that's just me. Other than that, you know what I'm about to say. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Be excellent to one another. That's what I got. Thank you to all of our frontline first responders, everybody in healthcare. Y'all, thanks.
No doubt. Hollywood Paul, man. Same thing for you, man. I'm gonna ask you, man. Do me a favor and zip them up.
As West Coast mentioned, we were real heavy at the beginning of the show, and I just want to piggyback off that. Like, you see something going on that's wrong, stand up for what's right. But don't do it in an ignorant way like the father and son did, who killed a young man jogging on the road. Don't be a bigot. Don't be an ignorant bigot. Be mindful, and of course, hold people accountable. Don't go out and express and practice cognitive dissonance, meaning you see the issue, you see the truth, but you ignore it because it's too hard to face it. Sometimes we just got to face hard things, even though we don't want to, and it's going to suck. It's part of being adults. When things start to open back up, please be mindful. Be mindful. It's easy to forget. It's easy to forget. Make sure you're staying clean in all aspects. Make sure you're treating people right, especially when things open back up. A lot of people aren't going to be as fortunate as you and haven't had the same situation as you. A lot of people are going to be struggling and going through things. So, be there for one another as much as you can, within reason, and treat people with respect, spread love, and just be mindful. And thanks for listening. Thank you to everybody, to all the essential workers. Everybody that's been out there is still going to work, and putting yourself up in a line, whether you're working at Sheetz or a hospital. Thank you, and definitely just be mindful.
No doubt. Hey, we appreciate that, and I'm gonna go ahead and zip us up too, man. I don't have anything too crazy. Just want to always just big shout out first responders, essential workers, but especially those people working in healthcare, those doctors, those nurses. Well, I know y'all going through. I have a lot of nurse friends. I know y'all going through it, man. Keep your head up. We got your back. We're going to do what we can. But I definitely big shout out from the show, from the network. And we just want to say thank you. So thank you. Y'all, we don't know what the next moment is going to hold for us, man. We lost a brother that lost his life out jogging. And so just being aware of your surroundings, because you never know when your last moment's going to be, man. So once again, prayers and shout outs, man, to everybody, to the family. Definitely have my condolences, man. And thank you listeners. Thank you listeners. We appreciate your support. Definitely let us know if you have any questions, comments, or anything you want us to touch on. Don't forget to write the show. Comment, share, man. You already know what I'm going to say, man. If you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about? We out.
This is Defy Life.
Welcome to the Defy Life podcast. Join JR, Thomas, and Al as they take on topics in sports, politics, current events, family, and more. Insightful, hilarious, always unique. New episode every Wednesday. Powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. Listen at defylifepods.com and everywhere else your favorite podcasts are available. If you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about?